Hi, internet world. My name's Jana, for those of you who don't watch my Highland dancing channel. And I have a tic disorder. So for those of you who don't know what a tic disorder is, it's basically like having the hiccups all the time, but it's like hiccups in different parts of your body. So it's like, it's an uncontrollable movement or sound that you make. So like, I make like a, or I yell like words like hey and stop and no, and like my arms do this, and they do like weird things with my hands sometimes, and my head does weird things, and yeah, so that's what this entire channel is going to revolve around, is my tics, because I would really like to be able to put this out here for awareness for tic disorders and Tourette's, and you know, so people know if they see someone on the bus having tics, they know that there's not something like seriously wrong with them, and they don't have to be worried. Not that I'm worried that people are going to be worried, but raising awareness helps people be a little bit more accepting of people with tic disorders. I know I've struggled with that when I was on my first medication. Back when I was on Motilium, for those of you who have used it, I mean, for me it didn't work very well. It could work very well for other people, but it only worked for 2 hours at a time. So I had taken it during dance class, and I was on the bus home from dance class, and I was having tics. And I hit my head against the side of the bus, the window of the bus a couple times, because I was trying to sleep on the bus. But there were these girls sitting behind me, and they just laughed every time I ticked, and it was really kind of sad. I turned around to see if maybe they were laughing at a video or something on their phone, and they were just sitting there laughing at me, and I turned around and they were like, well, what are you looking at? And then I turned back and they were like, oh my goodness, what's wrong with her? Is she like retarded or something? Not that being retarded is a bad thing. People who have like actual mental delays are generally very nice, awesome people, and I love them. So I'm just relaying what they said, so despite the fact that they used it in that way, I would never. And when one of the girls was about to get off of the bus, she stopped beside me, looked me square in the face, and just went, and then walked off, and it was really offensive, and it was hard to deal with, because they obviously didn't know what a tic disorder is and what I was doing, and they just thought I was nuts, and they felt the need to go ahead and be like that, be stupid, teenage, I don't know. I never went through a phase where I ever would have done that, so I'm not going to say they went through a stupid teenage phase. It's not a teenage phase, it's just stupidity, ignorance. So, I'm hoping that putting this vlog up will be kind of a resource for people to be able to send to people that, you know, this is a tic disorder, this is like, you know, this is what it's like. So, I've had tics for most of my life that I can remember. It used to be really, really tame tics, like just a head tic usually, where I had a little tiny shoulder tic for like a little while. But then when I was 15, the summer that I was 15, I started noticing that they were getting worse and they were starting to hurt. And when I was 16, I started doing more than just head tics and little tiny tics. I started doing like arm tics. I started doing like a tic. I started like squeaking. And gradually since then they've gotten worse. But when I was 16, I went to the doctor and we were like, hey, can we like do something about this? My doctor was very understanding. It was awesome, and I got put on Motilium initially. Now I'm on clonidine, but I'm coming off of clonidine because it made me really, really tired. So, we're trying something else. We're talking to my doctor soon about that. I don't get in to see a neurologist until early next year because the waiting list for the movement disorder clinic is so long. Like, it's actually ridiculous. It's like, you have to wait a year to see a neurologist in this clinic that specializes in movement disorders because I couldn't get in with the Tourette's clinic. We're not sure if I have Tourette's, but I think that's what's going on unless there's actually something like seriously wrong in my brain. But to me, I've done a lot of research and a lot of my symptoms really line up with symptoms of Tourette's. So, yeah. that's where I am right now with my tic disorder. Today I was at work. I work at a furniture store. It's actually my last 2 weeks there, and I'm going to be working at a restaurant. But, and I was just, the guy was using his debit card, and I'm just sitting here ticking, and I've been on medication still. I'm just kind of on a lower dose of clonidine right now, while I'm kind of tapering off. But I, was doing some tics, and I yelled quite loudly, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, I have a tic disorder. And he's like, oh my goodness, my son has Tourette's. He's done really well with it, and you can learn how to cope with it, and he's at university and he's doing really well. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you're my favorite customer today. So if you're watching this, you're my favorite customer of the day. So yeah, that made me happy. So I thought I'd share that story to kind of counter the story about the ignorant, stupid people. And, yeah. It's not that they are probably ignorant and stupid individuals, they were just being ignorant and stupid at the time. Because, even if I was doing it on purpose, there is no reason that anyone should be mocking someone like that. Like, what if I actually did have, like, a mental delay, and they were like, what if she's like, is she, like, retarded or something, and they were making, like, a joke of it? It was, yeah. So, yeah, so the point of this whole video is, when you see someone with tics, don't make fun of them. Know that they don't mean it. Know that they're not trying to bother you, and, try to be supportive. If you talk to them, don't go out of your way to put them down for their tics. We can't help it. We can't stop it. We're just trying to live our normal everyday lives just like you. So, that is my opening vlog for Tics and Things. So, I hope to be making a lot of videos coming up about, like, how this works out, how my new medication works out. Another reason I wanted to make this vlog is for people who have tic disorders to see, like, the kinds of effects that my medications have on me or have had on me. Just for those types of people who are watching, for me, Motilium did not work. It worked for 2 hours, and then within minutes, like, almost, it was clockwork on the 2 hours. It was like, tick time. And with the clonidine, on the lower dose, I was having a lot of breakthrough tics. And at 4 hours, again, clockwork, ticking. On the higher dose that I'm on right now, I'm on a 0.02 a day, I think, or 0.2 or something. I'm on 0.05 4 times a day, so I'm on a 0.2, and it's about 4.5 hours before I have any tics, breakthrough tics, or anything. And so it's worked very well for the tics, but I've just been really, really tired all the time. So, if you were watching for those purposes, that is how my experience has been with the medications that I'm on. I will be starting on something new soon, and I will let everybody know how that goes. But this is just somewhere I thought I could post about that, because I don't really have a whole lot of outlet for that. There's not a lot of places you can go and just talk about your tics. So, bye, I guess, until next time, because there will be a next time. Goodbye.